I'm feeling so light, hearing the angelic sounds of our ancestors singing through the night for the supernova body. Listen to the realms of beyond, sacred wisdom healing my mind. Chakras align when I listen to supernova day. It's more than a podcast, it's a whole vibe. Expanding consciousness as you shift your mind. Tune into the supernova body so you can raise your vibration. Don't be afraid to make changes and create a new you. It's more than a podcast, it's a whole vibe. Expanding consciousness as you shift your mind. Supernova body, a cosmic party. New way of life, it's a supernova body. Yeah.
Hello and welcome to episode 8 of season 2 of Supernova Body Podcast. I am your host, Simone Michelle. And today we're talking about healthy love. Yeah, we talked about a lot of other stuff, and now we're going to talk about the healthy love, which is subjective because we all have our idea of what love should be. And who's to say who's right or wrong, right? I have fought tooth and nail to have a positive perspective on love and have it what I think is healthy love for myself, for my family members, for my friends, for my children, for my partner, to release some of the popular notions surrounding love and adopt notions that really feel good to me at a core level. And I think everybody should do that. But again, who am I to decide what everybody should do? Do what's best for you. If you are open, we can consider creating an idea of healthy love together, right? So you share your ideas, I share my ideas, and then we have a conversation about it. So after this episode, I would love to know what you think healthy love is. And if you agree with some of the things that I said, or you disagree, and please share why. And cite your sources. No, I'm just kidding. Feel how you feel, and we'll continue to grow together with one another. Okay, so let's start. We're going to jump right in because why do I need to preface this? We've been talking a lot about love this season, and we've been talking about relationships and healthiness in having those relationships and how we don't have to be miserable. Like we can be at peace and have community and love and all these different things, and we can have it the way we want to have it, right? And that's all subjective. And I keep saying subjective because it is, okay? It's all based on what you want for your life, because I can want peace and chill, and you could want passion, excitement, vibrance, and that could be what works for you. There's a healthy way to have it for both of us, All right, so here we are. Again, I'm following my notes. Okay, so some common misconceptions about love are that love hurts, right? Or we've got to struggle in love, or we have to work hard to have positive, uh, well, I believe we do have to work hard to have a positive relationship. Like we have to put forth effort, but um, love doesn't have to be the hardest thing that we do, right? If we choose our partners in a way that allows us to mesh well with them, to truly be equally yoked, then love doesn't have to be just drag out, blatant hurt, pain, misery. We can enjoy the process, right? We can enjoy the person that we've chosen to do life with, right? All right. I believe that we're often taught what love feels like, but we're not taught what it looks like, right? We're not taught how to actively be that, right? We have this idea of being a power couple or being um, in a long lasting relationship. And what are we citing as a reference, right? We're citing the Huxtables, possibly, but in real life, was that what was happening? Who knows? I'm not nobody's judge, and I wasn't there. I wasn't a fly on the wall, right? Um, but what I'm saying is, what are our examples for real? Like, who can we look at and say, yeah, that is what love looks like, right? Who have we had the ability to shadow in order to see, like, oh yeah, this is it. I love that for them and for me. Like, bring that to my life. Um, what has society told us about love, right? What has society, that's a good one. I like calling society. Yes. What has society taught us that we should accept, and what standards should we have as men or as women or as trans people or gay people or straight people? What has life taught we should accept, and not based on um, our own beliefs, but the beliefs that have been popularized and polarized out to us, like depending on your culture, who you're surrounded by or look up to. What does their love life look like? Is it private? Is it messy? Is it toxic? You know. Okay, and um, I lost my place. So give me just a second as I find it. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's talk about what love may not be, right? And this one I don't 100% agree with. Love is not grand gestures. Love is not fireworks. Well, if passion is one of the hallmarks of your desirable love, then it might be. It might be grand gestures and fireworks. I like that. I like to do that too. It may not be every day, but that may be a cornerstone of the relationship. So, who are you to tell me I can't have that, right? And how is that not healthy? It may not be realistic to expect it every day, but it is fair to say, I like this, you know. Um, but it might not always be the amount that you want, right? But the gestures, I think, never letting the romance die is beautiful. But some people, again, we're talking about the triangular theory of love, and that it could be passion or commitment or intimacy. It doesn't always have to be all three or two or whatever. Um, what does healthy love look like for you? If I was to design my perfect love, the gestures should be in there. They would be for sure, because I was raised on the Notebook, The Wood, things that were very quirky and romantic, but there were big gestures, and love was really beautiful to think about and explore. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna hold on to that as for me in my house. uh, so soulmates, the concepts of soulmates or twin flames or karmic encounters versus um, conscious effort and compatibility. So, what does that look like? That looks like this person is my soulmate and we were made for each other, and that's all I need to know. Then that can also look like we're soulmates, but I don't think I like my soulmate. Like they do a lot of really annoying stuff, and I don't see why the universe or God would pair me with this sucker because what? Or it's taking a situation where you have a best friend or you meet someone and you just get each other, right? And you understand each other on a very intimate level and you are very committed to whatever you guys do together. So let's say you're business partners and you are committed to completing the objective and you notice that you guys have a lot of similar core values and they're very set in who they are and you're very set in who you are and you guys really bring positive light into each other's life and you're not seeing any red flags and they're just a delight to be around, right? You're getting them special warm feelings in the inside, right? And then one day you decide, well, let's explore maybe being more. And then there's that passion, right? Those blinders come off, and now you are feeling all the feels for this person. You've got the corner store, I don't know what word I was trying to go with, but we're going to bypass that. You have the trifecta. You have the commitment, you have the intimacy, and you have the passion. You've established healthy love, right? So was that built overnight or was that instant attraction where you just know instant that's my soulmate, that's my partner, that's the person that I'm supposed to be with? Is one wrong? Maybe not, right? Because there are people who met at a club or met at a church event and they got married 2 weeks later and they are still together 90 years later. Like everything is subjective and based on that one person. But what is healthy love to you in that regard? What do you think about soulmates? What do you think about putting in the effort and being continuously accountable versus all of the feels initially up front day one? Um, Also, we talked a lot about codependency. So love is not completing you, right? This person is not completing you. You are complete. You're coming into the situation complete as you are. And they're coming into the situation complete as you are. And then you guys get to make a life together and go forward together, right? As two individual people that are complete on their own separate paths, choosing to do life together. Is that your idea of health? I mean, I think that seems pretty realistic and pretty fair and balanced, right? Where someone's not coming into the relationship and expecting me to do the work on them, and I'm not expecting them to do the work on me. I've taken some time, they've taken some time, and we've done the work on ourselves, right? To the point of, I will interject a caveat here, to the point that you can alone, because some lessons only come by being in the presence of another person. Yeah, you don't realize how much you hate socks on the floor until they're not yours, right? You don't realize how much you dislike dislike cleaning up after people until it's somebody else's mess. Okay, some lessons in patience and resilience only come in the presence of other people. Moving right along. Okay, so how do you consider conflict? In your perfect ideal relationship, does conflict exist? Or is it non existent? Because truthfully, conflict will always be present. Now, how you navigate that conflict is the biggest indicator of if this is a healthy love or not. Is there screaming and shouting? Is there calling someone every name under the sun because you're upset and you can't regulate your emotions? And now you're saying how you really feel about them. Or can you talk through it where you can definitely be passionate and have feelings, but are you going for the jugular um, um, for who the person is, right? How are you choosing to disagree? Are you choosing to belittle that person? Are you choosing to point out all of their flaws and identify why they suck as a person and a human, right? And you regret choosing them to be your human. And if you're watching this, I am propping myself in a position that's comfortable for me. So mind your business. All right. So, and if you're listening, I'm just putting my hands behind my back because it feels good and I'm supporting myself because of how my body is designed. All right. Okay. What are your core pillars of healthy love? How do you view respect and boundaries, varying opinions, and individuality? So, how do you handle when that person uh, is a Trump supporter and you voted for Kamala? How do you handle that? What does that look like? Are you okay that they have differing core values, or is that a deal breaker for you? Because that signifies that there's something different happening in their mind than yours. That was political, but whatever. I mean, how does it make you feel? Like, what are your non-negotiables? Where it's like you cannot um, be with someone that practices and acts in this way? Or what if you guys believe differently? What if they believe in the universe and you believe in Jesus? Is that a core value that you can't shake? Is that a difference in opinion? Or is that a fundamental issue that will create issues in the future? Or are you guys just both open and like, whatever, you do what works for you because you're an individual and I'm gonna do what works for me? That's all up to you to consider and think about. People make it work or people don't. But it's up to you. Not what someone else tells you. It's up to you, how you feel about it. What's gonna work for you and what's a pillar that you cannot move or have vary, right? You've got to be in alignment on this area. What does trust look like? What does respect look like? What does building a future together look like? What do the roles look like in your dynamics, right? Are they balanced? Does one person stay home and one person go to work? Because personally, I'm okay to work from home. You know, I'm okay to work from home minimally, not because I have to, but because I choose to. The dream, okay, dream to not have to work. Dream for me. But for other people, that may not be a core. No, I don't see that. Well, that may not look like healthy love to you. For someone else, it may. Your healthy love idea, maybe you both equally share everything from working to taking care of children together to household duties. That looks like balance and health to you. That's your option. That's your choice. So long as you both agree that this is what health looks like to us and we're committed to this plan together, right? Those core pillars of healthy love, definitely have to align between both of you. And that's the pinnacle of a relationship is your foundation. What are you building it on? Are you building it on spirituality or religion? Are you building it on mutual respect or trust? Are you building it on honesty? Are you building it on polyamory, right? Where you're having the thought process that you need a village to make this work. You need more than one team player on this team. You need 3 or 4 or 5. That's a lot. But some people do what they do, you know? Got a vision, got a community mindset. Who am I to judge, right? Whatever works. Communication is another major one. What kind of communication do you have? Do you have an open door policy? Do you struggle in that area? Do you need your partner to be patient with you as you learn to communicate in their style? Do you need them to be patient as you go to someone to learn how to communicate better? What does this look like for y'all? What is healthy communication for you? What is too much, right? Do you want to know how many exes are in their DMs? Or do you not want to know at all, right? This is all between you and your partner. You guys are creating what healthy love looks to you and what level of communication is important for your relationship to succeed, right? If your partner is asking to see them DMs and you're telling them no, but y'all established day one that this is how you would move, somebody is not doing their job. This is not going to end healthy. It's not going to remain healthy. Things are starting to shake, right? Um, if you guys establish your relationship on no, don't ask, don't tell, and now you're asking and they not telling, the foundations have shifted. You know, so whatever whatever works in communication is going to stay working in communication. As long as you guys are choosing to talk about it and have difficult conversations, your relationship can remain healthy. Even if the conversation is not nice, is not happy, is not beautiful, it's about you guys choosing to get through it and you guys choosing to do it in a way that causes the least amount of harm to one another. And also being able to express your needs, being able to listen without interrupting. All of these different things are skills that can be taught, that can be learned, that can be postponed until emotions are lower, right? In order for your relationship to thrive. Because why are we yelling and screaming? We can have this conversation in 2 days if need be. The conversation is still going to get had, but maybe when things aren't so serious or so hurtful or so painful. Taking time and having silence is not always the negative, manipulative tactic that people try to make it out to be. Taking time and silence sometimes preserves a relationship. Being able to sit and choose your words instead of going off of first instinct sometimes is very healthy, depending on the dynamics of the relationship, right? Do what works for you. As for me, give me 15 minutes, maybe 24 hours, maybe a week, who knows? Just give me some time. I'll come to you, and then we can talk. And I'll give you the same grace. Like, let's be gracious here. Okay. All right. Also, how do you feel about violence? Is that a non-negotiable for you? Is laying of hands an automatic out? Is violence okay? Is that healthy to you? Is that something that was learned, that you have learned is okay and a display of love? Or do you view that that is harmful and can be detrimental? I don't know if that's non-negotiable. I think that violence, domestic violence situations, is very much so heavily in the toxic love department. But you may be progressing out of that. I don't even know how to put a spin on that. I'm gonna just stand on the violence doesn't appear to be healthy to me. I can't sway on that. The violence, I don't see it being in the healthy love department, and there's no way I could talk myself into it. That's I'm gonna be judgment on that. I'm definitely gonna add some judginess into the. I don't know. No, uh, no. Okay, all right. Are you able to express your needs? How do you express them in a relationship? Um, and that determines the level of health. How comfortable are you? What does that look like for you? You know, are you open to them expressing their dislike of something? Are you open to them expressing or questioning how you parent your kids if you guys don't parent together? Are you open to them proposing different ideas or ways? What do you feel is healthy and what do you feel is controlling? What makes you feel challenged and what makes you feel disrespected? Because there's a difference there, right? And understanding and having that self awareness allows you to determine what's going to work for you, right? What's going to work for you in your relationship dynamics to where you feel safe, right? Because it's important for us to listen to what our body is telling us and our feelings are telling us, because triggers are an indication that something is happening beneath the surface. And we can learn from those triggers so that we can address them in a healthy way and not let them fester and continue to respond to them in the way that we have previously done, right? Because it can be very beneficial for us to learn how to learn from our triggers and not be slaves to them. So they are not running our lives, but we are aware of why they are present. And we can recognize what they are trying to communicate to us and what that person is doing that is bringing that out of us, and vice versa, understanding what is happening. Our triggers are our responsibility, and our triggers are an indication that there's something happening. And the other person's response to triggering us is very helpful, and it can be healthy or unhealthy. Um, and I'll let you decide on that one because codependency, like we talked about it. Okay. Um, what are some unhealthy dynamics? Codependency. So go listen to any of the codependency episodes, and all of that um, is very clear. But again, what does it look like? Green lights, feeling safe and secure. Like you can talk about anything, you don't feel judged, you feel safe. And vice versa, they can share anything with you. It's a safe space. You openly express your thoughts and feelings without fear of judgment. Again, safe space. You feel seen, heard, and valued. These are all great things to feel in a relationship. Mutual growth and encouragement. Again, you guys are individual people and you're going on your own journey forward. You feel healthy conflict resolution is possible, meaning you guys can disagree and it's not the end of your relationship. Even if you need to take some time apart, you're not taking that time to sow your royal oats. You're just taking time to really think and reflect. Um, Feeling energized and uplifted by the relationship. You can feel like you're on cloud nine every day, all day. Like it's a source of energy for you. Positive energy, uplifting energy. Love can do that. Laughing together and having fun. Are you guys doing stuff like in the house, out the house, that really brings you joy and peace and happiness? Or are you always crying or upset? You can kind of like differentiate what's happening. Um, I believe that healthy love, a premise of that is the level of joy and happiness. Are you happier more than you're sad? Is this person invoking, I don't know, what I just said didn't feel right. Definitely didn't feel grammatically correct. But are you happy more than you are sad? Are you experiencing a sense of joy in this person's presence? Do they invoke that out of you? Not that they bring you joy and without them you have none, but does their presence incite joy within you to overflow? Um, I believe those are things you can consider when you're creating your idea of healthy love. And if you have references, family members that have walked you through what this really looks like, kudos to you. It's always great, to have a great example of what love looks like. Because some of us learn by watching, right? And some of the things that we have learned, we can unlearn. And it will do everybody good to unlearn. And that's okay. There's no harm, no foul in learning things that no longer serve you. It's okay to put them down. It's okay to pick up something that makes more sense. It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you whack. It doesn't make you a follower. It makes you a grower, not a shower. I'm just kidding. I don't know what that had to do. I just had to say it. Okay. All right. Now, how do you cultivate a healthy relationship? Well, how do you do it? We talked about it. Everything that we talked about already is how you cultivate a healthy relationship for you that is rooted in love, that is custom to you. What do you want your life to look like with your partner? Figure that out before you have a partner. And then when you meet your partner, ask them those questions and see if their vision aligns with the vision that you've created for yourself. Or maybe they have a better idea and you are like, I can get with that. You thought of some things I didn't think of. I like all those things. I can adopt those as my pillars. Because it resonates with the person that you've created already. It's important to have a clear understanding of who you are so when you meet the person that is for you, you can recognize what feels safe and healthy and joyous and loving. Because it's not just a feeling, there are actions that also go with that as well. There are words that also go with that as well. And you have to understand what they are so you can recognize them and what feels good and safe and holy and sacred to you and what don't. And that's all up to you. You get to choose. And it's okay if you don't align with what everybody else views to be healthy, so long as you don't feel drained and sick and sad and depleted and hurt. Because those things suck, okay? There's no way to try to wrap it up in a nice bow to make it. It sucks to be tired and hurt and sad. It feels great to be happy, okay? Let's be real. Let's be for real. Healthy love is beautiful, and we can have it. It's available for us. Sometimes it requires change in order to have it, but we can. So, yeah. Thank you so much for listening with me today, wherever you are, at whatever time, whatever place. I thank you so much, and I love you. And I hope that you continue to have a beautiful experience. And that's all for today, y'all. Bye!